Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And off we go from Soldier Field.
Takes it at the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
To Montgomery to begin the drive.
And he'll get this to the 32.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Aleem McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop him. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill.
Back deep, Khalif Raymond. This is taken at the 18. Oh, he bowls over him. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Lions will take over. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to be incomplete.
That's the first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a first down.
And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ballgame. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
To throw is Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he will have the Bears first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Fields on first down.
His throw incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Darnell Mooney, the target there.
But now it's 3rd down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble at 6, but now it's 4th.
Thanks to his effort, they now have a big choice to make here.
Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one for 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the game. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be aware of the possibility of a pass. But that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. And they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Bears will get the football back. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Meanwhile, Fields throw there, hauled in by Claypool. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. They'll go option to the short side. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a
touchdown Bears! Darnell Mooney, 27 yards. And the Bears post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. Santos with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And finishing it all off was Darnell Mooney with a touchdown reception. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Goff now to throw. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. The 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Back to throw. Fields. Left side, got Jones. And he will have the Bears first down, as that'll be a pickup of about 5 as they convert on 3rd and inches. Out of the gun, Fields. Able to hit his target, Claypool. Fields going to hurry his guys to the line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Fields on 3rd down. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. He's got the first down and more. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 34-yard line. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete.
There is something to a game plan. We're trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Here's Fields. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. So Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. Santos' kick is up and through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together and maybe get in the field goal range. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Play fake for Swift. Now Goff going for the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want, because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Goff throwing again. intercepted. 20, 10, and they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown.
Charles, he was looking for just a short throw, kept it in range for the rare linebacker pick-6.
And give him full credit for his focus. He just kept the quarterback in his sights, and where he was looking to throw, he positioned himself perfectly to be there for the interception. He made the play of the game for his defense right there.
This one taken just inside the 10.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Lions. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play.
All right, so we skip the rest of halftime and get set for the third quarter.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
From the 6.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a second and 9. They'll try the air now with Goff. Steps away. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown.
Jared Goff connecting with DJ Chark. And the Lions have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive spanned 5 plays.
And it's DJ Chark who finishes it off with a touchdown reception.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
On the return, it's Tristan Ebner from his end zone.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
And Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just letting our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but There are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's the option going right. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Now Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Draw play. Fields gives to Montgomery. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
They get 7 there on the screen. That'll set up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. Comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Santos' kick is up and through, and that'll bring him back within a point. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off. Because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
They'll fake the give. Now gone. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
And this time they were waiting for it, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Once again, it's Swift. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And quickly, they get to the line. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And room there to work it inside the 25. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but works in park.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Go off a handoff here to Swift.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Here's Swift.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Goff going to keep it himself. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Lions get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Now Goff toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Here's Fields.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
4th down. Fields has to have this one.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. So with no timeouts and where the football is on the field, now they're in a really tough spot.
Because a field goal finishes them. Right? If they give up 3, it's over, let alone trying to get the ball back. You're exactly right. Very difficult situation. All they can do is go all out when the ball's snapped and try and pop it free and get it back for themselves. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your own crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
Charles, we were treated to an excellent game today, capped off by that second half